So now we look at other justifications of punishments, of punishing offenders. Rehabilitation is another reason for punishing. Rehabilitation is actually the least or more humane type of punishment that is available or that is theorized. So this type of punishment argues that we don't have to imprison people, we should train people, we should help them with therapy, we should take them out of the culture of criminals and put them in a better place where they will learn better behavior. So in this way, the person will be changed and the criminal will become more law-abiding. They consider this theory considers or this approach considers criminal behavior as an illness which is to be treated, not punished. It was popular in the 1960s, but not much came out of it. There was various experiments done at a small scale level of bringing people to a farm or bringing people to an area where they will be in a closed environment, but available, but allowed to do many things which people in jails are not. But those experiments are not very successful. Now there is again a small revival of this rehabilitation approach, and the idea is that gradually this approach can facilitate a change in the criminal behavior. A more powerful strategy or approach relating to punishing crime is retributivism. Retributivism is punishing someone for committing a crime. So it's a backward-looking approach. So you are punishing for something which is done. So you are not looking forward. You are only looking backward, and you think that this specific person has done something wrong and he or she has to be punished. Its advocates argue that it's different from revenge. It's not personal. It derives no pleasure from the suffering of the criminal. It has its limits. There are procedures. The punishments are proportional. But its critics argue that it's a procedural revenge. So it's done proportionally. It's done according to a procedure, but it's still a revenge because it has nothing to do with what is going on in future. It's looking only at what is previously have been done. Another justification of retributivism is that it restores social harmony and balance. So each person has a contact with the society. He or she has to behave, do certain things, obey certain rules. And when someone breaks these rules, so it gets an unfair advantage over others, and the punishment actually restores the balance. So the unfair advantage which the criminal has taken away is taken back from him. In some ways, it is linked to the biblical principle of lex talionis, which an eye for an eye, which is very extreme punishments. Modern Western societies has come up with a much softer approach. They argue that punishments should only be as harsh as they are necessary. Punishment should be proportional, and prison environment should be humane. The criticism of retributivism approach are that even the softer approach is still based on the principle of lex talionis. There is still thought of a revenge, and the idea of that the laws are equally applicable is not true, because rich and powerful break the law, but they are not punished. So in prisons, most of the people that are there are from poor household or from marginalized communities. So for example, in the US, blacks are much more likely to be in jail as compared to Asians or white communities. Then the idea of that the punishments are proportional to crime is also difficult to imagine. It's reasonable to consider that for murder, capital punishment is proportional to murder, but what is proportional to theft or robbery? Is it 2 years imprisonment or 5 years imprisonment or 10 years imprisonment? So everything is relative, and proportionality depends on how you look at it. And arbitrary sentences cannot be termed proportional. So these justification doesn't seem to be true. Thank you.